Hi guys, this is Sidney. I'm on here today to share with you guys some messages and channel music with you and share what's been going on energetically and the 7 portals that are opening right now, that have opened and are available that I mentioned briefly in writing on YouTube community post. So I'm going to share the messages with you and how you can utilize that portal energy right now for you to move to the higher frequency, meaning new earth, your highest timeline at this time. So actually I recorded the whole message yesterday and then half of it was gone somehow. It wasn't saved. So I felt the urge, like, I want to share this, with you guys. I want to share this with the collective, like right now. Like I had this rush of feeling, but then I also had to sit with it and resume my energy and be in a state of non-reactivity and just accept the situation for what it is. And then I asked, what's the message here? Is it something that is interfering, or is there more messages that I need to consolidate? Because sometimes that's what happens. My spirit team blocks me from sharing certain things, or when it's not the time. And so because they're giving me more information or key information for me to share and consolidate for me to share later. So and then during my sleep time, that night, last night, I experienced a huge download from the stellar gateway. So stellar gateway chakra was like not just like this open, but like really just completely wide open, like so vastly. And then so much energy was coming down right directly from source. And then I start to see like this, especially the gold orange color, which is connected to Metatron. And it was relating to the Metatron portal, which is one of the 7 portals that I'm going to share with you guys. So I realized this morning that was why I had to wait until today and re-record this video. So as always, I'm going to let my intuition guide me through this. Whatever messages come, that is for you in divine timing. I trust the divine. So tune in with your heart and discern for yourself whether this may be for you or not, whether it resonates for you or not. Okay. So I've been mentioning a lot of the rainbow energy with the 10 of Cups and all of this. So there's huge expansion of energy in all areas, meaning energetically. And this expansion of energy is tied to the acceleration of energy, meaning rising of the frequency of Gaia's energy right now, that is affecting everyone and everything on Earth right now at this time. Okay, so this is more like a bigger picture perspective that I'm guided to share right now. So what that means is when that expansion happens, especially with Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that happened in April, this huge expansion of energy is elevating a lot of people. And there are 2 groups that I constantly mention. So this one large, I'm just speaking in general terms in the collective. So one large group have been doing a lot of releasing, meaning they didn't bypass, meaning it's called like, I think it's called like spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity or something like that, right? That they really went in, and as I mentioned in my latest video, radical self-honesty, with that they started to look into their shadow and they observed their fears, they observed their insecurities. And even though it was uncomfortable, even though they didn't want to look at it, even though they wanted to run away from facing or confronting these things, they sat with it, they saw it, and then they went in with it. And so they were able to release them, and that therefore they released a lot of the karma. And as a result of that, these terms like New Earth Leaders or Divine Feminine Risings has been coming up to the surface a lot since later last year around December time. So that's why, that's why a lot of people in the collective, especially a lot of light workers or people in the spiritual community, the readers or the healers, the light language transmitters who are integrated like that, they were feeling this energy, okay, and sensing. And so this is the one particular group. The other group, which is bigger than this collective, majority of the people in the collective are still in the process of having to face their own shadow, or some people are in the process of integrating. So meaning doing a lot of heavy lifting, meaning they're dealing with facing a lot of their fears, a lot of their shadows, a lot of their inner child wounds and insecurities and doubts and guilt and shame. And they're processing this right now as the acceleration and expansion of energy is taking place. So the groups are separating. Okay, so actually what I'm seeing as I'm sharing this in the collective, it's now becoming 3 groups that I'm seeing. So one is more like a Divine Feminine Rising, the New Earth Leaders who have done the integration to a certain degree, that they're in a certain place energetically. And then this one group who's in the middle of doing the shadow work, right? Ego death experiences. And this one other group that is coming to me is just starting to awaken something within them to go on the spiritual journey of looking into their shadow aspect. So in a way, you can say that as spiritual awakening, and they're going really deep, or they're starting their journey of self-healing in a way. So this group may experience a lot of feelings of depression or reactive emotional reactions, and starting to getting ready to purge, right? This is bubbling up inside. So they're feeling a lot of anger, they're feeling triggered. This is one group. And this one is they have gone through this phase. Now they're in a second phase of this journey where they have experienced this intensity. And now, even though they're still dealing with a lot of these triggers and, this shadow aspect, what's coming to my mind is their soul already decided to go on this journey. So their soul is very much determined to join the new earth is what I'm getting. So that's why they're not gonna give up just in the middle of it, even though it may be difficult, is what I'm seeing. Okay, and this other group is really embodying the heaven and earth energy right now, the New Earth Leader group. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. And there are a lot of high activations that are taking place. And so my spirit team is sharing, guiding me to share this, is because they want you to see that everyone is on a unique journey. And I'm just generalizing, but inside, every individual is going through their own unique stories of this lifetime, of many other lifetimes that one has experienced, that cannot be compared with other souls or other individuals. So you want to honor your journey at this time as much as possible, even though you may be triggered to compare, is what I'm constantly reiterating, repeating in every video, because that is very crucial at this time for you to release and raise your vibration. And someone mentioned in the comment section that, can I have addictions to join the new earth? And the answer to that is you cannot. You cannot have any addictions. You cannot, meaning any patterns that's based on compulsion, meaning insecurity within yourself. So basically the addictions is because of the anxiety that you hold, the insecurity within, okay? So you cannot have that because it's it's very heavy energy, and that is part of the karma. So the karma or any sort of addiction. So that's why I mentioned a lot about looking into our patterns and different kinds of addictions, the mental addictions, emotional addictions, physical addictions to food, materials, emotions, thoughts, all of these things. We cannot have them. We need to drop everything, meaning we need to... So what is coming to me is actually when you look at it, we use the word dropping or releasing, but what's really... how I can describe best energetically is that it's a constant deprogramming. So remembering who you are. So it's basically remembering who you are, because your soul signature is still with you, but what's been covering you up, all these layers of conditions, conditioning with fear, conditioning with doubt, conditioning with low self-esteem, conditioning you with feeling not good enough, conditioning you with insecurities, and all of these layers. That was part of the experimentation of the age of darkness that your soul chose to come and experience, to clear that up, because in your soul center you have all the wisdom, you have all the strength, meaning you know that you are unconditional love. So with that love you can transmute all these layers of conditions and all this in a way deceptions and illusions that have been creating your reality that you experience as real, which may not be real. Okay, so it's like the finding your way back home within. That is the journey, okay, that I'm guided to share. So that's why the more you look into yourself, sit with your fears, sit with your anxieties, sit with your insecurities, even though you don't want to, because of this programming of what's good and what's bad, and the subconscious fear of you're going to be punished and not be punished. All these things are pressuring you to succumb to fear, but despite all that, you are sitting with fear. Okay, that is the strength of your soul. And so as you do so, you're identifying, now I see why I'm afraid of this, or I feel undeserving of this, and I was conditioned. I have this memory coming back in my childhood where I experienced this, that traumatized me, or they left me, or I was in this relationship, where I was chasing after something, and then now I embodied all this energy. Now I need to release, and all of that is in the subconscious. That's why we are saying that you hold the key. This process cannot be done by or from anyone else outside of you. That's why you need to continue to sit still and go in, observe your fear, right? Observe your emotions and feel your emotions, and then look at all the meanings that you have been attaching to certain experiences. And those meanings were giving you feelings as well in return. And that had been the frequencies that you've been sitting with. Okay, so it's like taking one layer after another. And right now, with this expansion of energy, what's been taking place recently, that from my experience in my sleep time, was opening up our heart even further on. Okay, so right now we have 7 portals that are widely open, that anybody who has the intention and who's purely wanting and desiring and being receptive to connect to this energy can receive the healing codes and the light codes. So at the beginning of this year, I talked about this year's theme of purification, purifying these addictions, these thoughts, these patterns on a mental, emotional, physical, and all of this level. And what came later is also, we went through that phase intensely, starting from around autumn, fall time last year. So the winter was very heavy with that energy of purification, where I mentioned about the feelings of guilt and Christ consciousness energy that are constantly coming down. And now we have these new portals that are being opened last December, like for the first time, something like that, that the rising of the frequency on earth that has never been taken place before. And what I got from the angelic realm and from the source was that we are now moving towards the energy of rejuvenation and regeneration. So in 2024, we are beginning to start purifying and then rejuvenate and regenerate. So that's going to be the major theme throughout 2024, at least. I don't know whether it's going to extend to year 2025 yet, but for now, what I'm strongly getting, that's the major theme for 2024, entire year of the 2024. And we just went through the important major phase of the purification part, and now we are moving into the rejuvenation for regeneration. And with that regeneration, as I was tapping into it and meditating, I received the information that when you look at the word regeneration, you see the word gene, Gene. So I saw that word, and then with that, the channel word that came was Genesis. And with that, what came was, we now have to regenerate everything. So that's why I mentioned constantly about detoxing our body, and mentioned a lot about fasting and all of that, diet change and juicing, right? It's because we were getting prepared for this phase now, back in like around fall, winter time last year. And so now, after the regeneration will take place, and that is to help us further to activate the 12 strands of DNA within our within our, and now that had been blocked, right? So we can only we were able to live more than like 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. But because of that manipulation, DNA manipulation that took place like long time ago, a lot of our DNA, the 12 strands of DNA is not fully activated, but we are now doing that and regenerating that process. And as a result, we're also activating our light body. So that's what I received from Source, Intergalactic Council, and the angelic realm, and that whole timeline of ascension, like how it's going to go, at least for now. And that is also what I received was in relation to the hybrid children. So with that, I started to receive that information earlier last year. I kept seeing hybrid, and I didn't know what that was about, but it was about the hybrid children that are ready to come in. And what I'm guided to share right now, what I'm receiving right now, is that it's related to also the hybrid children is also related to the extraterrestrial disclosure. And a lot of have different ideas of what that disclosure is in their mind. But what the source and the intergalactic council is sharing with me right now, that it may look different from what you imagine or what your mind is picturing right now. So we don't know how it's going to take place exactly yet. That's what I'm guided to share. So at this time, you do not want to overthink or you do not want to want to control by wanting to know the timeline or the schedule or the plans for all these ascensions right now. Just sit with this energy and be present as much as possible is what I'm guided to share. So everything that you think and imagine how this new earth is going to be like in your imagination, you may have certain blueprints that you came in with on a soul level that may be playing out, and you may sense it as you visualize it, but sometimes a lot of people, as they do this, the ego can come in and interfere this vision. So you have to really purify your energy, your ego aspect, and integrate them fully to see the clear vision. That's why they're separating these groups. And what I'm also guided to share is a lot of people in the spiritual community, especially, depending on the work they did and the integrity and the self-honesty and the inner work that they've been doing based on that. Because right now the karmic cycle, the wheels are turning, and the spiritual justice and all of this idea of justice is coming into play, especially very heavily in March, April, and now, is because based on what you did, the energy work that you put out, it's not being seen by other people, but it's like how you embody is now like being physically coming back to the reality in a physical reality space. So that's why a lot of people sense that as karmic justice or wheel of karma, like blah, blah, blah. All these things are, being discussed about a lot at this time is what I'm guided to share in the collective. That's what I'm hearing from the collective, like people talking about this in the spiritual community, okay? Because we went through a lot of triggers last year. And so based on that, it's like what I saw was like human resources. It's like in a corporate structure, you see HR department, and certain times they will reassign certain people to different offices or different jobs, different positions, or some are promoted, some are demoted based on their performance, is like kind of an analogy that I'm getting. Because in spiritual world, there's also this like different levels of, in a way, hierarchy, I would say, but that is different from how it's structured here based on authority, but it's all based on one's vibration. So based just like that, this based on one's vibration, based on the work that you did, some are going to be demoted, some are going to be promoted, is what I'm guided to share. So I don't know how that's going to play out on an individual level, but it's based on, it's like what you earned, basically. You reap what you sow. So it's not to blame anybody or it's not to complain. And the more you do that, you are lowering your vibration. So if you feel like that's happening, it's time you are given the opportunity once again to look within and what you need to integrate further and realize. And the key here is accountability. So taking accountability, taking responsibility for all that you created, okay, is what I'm guided to share. So take however it resonates for you and discern for yourself as always. So it's all based on one's vibration that other may not see, but the spirit world knows and sees everything, is what I'm guided to share. And this is not to scare anybody, but just to face these facts, right? Face this information, these changes that are taking place. And the abundance is always flowing. So if you want to align with that, if you feel like you're not meeting up to certain standards that you set for yourself, you want to always remember that I trust the divine and help me to realign myself, help me to realize something that I need to look into that perhaps I may overlooked or overanalyzed or was neglecting or ignoring or bypassing or something like that can really help you, and you are flowing with abundance because you're aligned with the opportunity for growth, rather than saying, man, you know, what have I done to deserve this? Like, I was working so hard, but like blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're in that place, it's not going to really help you, is what I'm guided to share. Yeah, for some reason. So continue to do your work. So wherever you are, whichever place you are in your own unique journey, you're always surrounded by opportunities for growth. Okay. So that's how you can constantly flow in abundance rather than the energy of lack, you know, because when you do not see something from gain or loss perspective, that is the separation consciousness, then you're constantly going to see, how can I grow from this? What can I learn from this? Okay, if you're asking these things, you're constantly aligned with the energy of abundance, is what I'm guided to share with you, to help you remind yourself wherever you are in your journey. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you find yourself fitting into these three groups that I shared as an example. The intention behind it was not to separate and that this is more like advanced than this one, but to help you, or in a way to challenge your perspective to see these things from a neutral standpoint. Because based on all the conditionings that we received, when someone says and separate these three groups, you already automatically may have this idea on a subconscious level, oh, that's advancing, that's advanced level, and this is falling behind or need to catch up, and all of these ideas. So what I'm getting is the intention behind me sharing this, that I'm guided to share by the divine, is to challenge your mind as well at this, you know, also that you want to see this as a neutral information rather than you comparing, okay? Because that comparison is very heavy, that we constantly need to clear out that energy in order for your ascension as well as Gaia's ascension at this time, is what I'm guided to share. So are you ready to take the challenge? Okay, so yeah, if you say yes, okay, I'm clapping for you. And if you're like feeling defeated, I want to just remind you that just learn to hug yourself more. If you're not used to it, that could be your one way of getting out of your comfort zone. It's like this. I learned this when I was doing the volunteer work. I was I started to do like the feeding the homeless, and then it led to another like project by the people that I was connecting with, because I was I was able to speak both Korean and English. And they said there's this, a lot of the Koreans were adopted were adopted to many countries, because like after the war, we were very poor as a country, and a lot of people couldn't keep their children. So that's how it started to take place. And so there's huge populate, like the group of people who are Korean adoptees in Europe and North America and all over the place in the world. And so there is this organization, and then I was connecting with that organization to become like an interpreter or translator, because they had this event where they were connecting Korean families who adopted Korean children with the American families who adopted Korean children. So I was like the connector, like translating to help them share the experiences, what they can learn and what they're doing. So I remember talking to this this family, and they adopted two Korean girls, and she said, the mother said, they go to this organization every weekend to get educated on how to communicate with their children, how to best make them understand and make them feel loved at the same time. So I learned what I learned from that experience was, it was very interesting at the time, was that they had to learn to, she said she had to learn to speak the truth, and that was part of the training. And she also had to yeah, so it's like this. When they're babies, they weren't aware that they look different. But as they started to grow up, like around 6 or 7, when they go out, they start to receive other people's reactions, because they look different from how their mother looked. And they never really like doubted the mother, even though the mother looked different, right? But the reactions from the people outside, they started to notice, and they started to question. And so the mom said they started to ask questions, and it was very different reactions. The two girls, the older one had different personality types, so she just didn't care too much about that. But the younger one was more like sensitive, artistic. And she started to ask more questions, like, Mommy, like, why do I look different from you? And all of this. She wanted to know where she's like from and all of that. And so that's something that she shared with me, which was very interesting for me at the time. And then she had to get educated from that institution on the weekend to communicate in a way that was not deceiving the truth, but in a very safe way, is what is coming up right now, okay? So she also said it was very hard for her to communicate in this way the first time. But then what she was educated with is that the more you practice, the better it's going to get. So she had to say, whenever she asked, like, Mommy, like, where did I come from? And then she said, oh, we brought you, you see the plane above in the sky. We brought you from Korea, and we flew together that airplane, and we came here. Something like that. So it's not like completely lying or hiding the truth, but they were very much open about communicating that. And then because they were little, they were very much used to this way of communication, like very safe, open, non-judgmental. Okay, so they were able to receive this information and then not feel wounded by the fact, or they, not feel like they're feeling abandoned, or they were left out, or they have these ideas, right? That they're, how can I say, they were being rejected by their, the parents who gave birth to them, or something like that. So the fear of rejection or fear of abandonment. So that was very interesting for me. And then I learned that, it's like when you're not used to saying I love you to someone, when you say it for the first time, it's very difficult. But the more you say it, it becomes very natural for you to share or express, oh, I love you, I thank you, all of that. So that is why what is coming up right now. And you can apply that to yourself. If you're not used to telling yourself that you are beautiful, if you're used to telling yourself that you are good enough, or you're capable, or that you can do this, or you are strong, or you are loved, or you are lovable, and all these words, you may not be used to saying these things because you were not in an environment where things were discussed. And it was interesting compared to the Korean family, who was more like, the society is more conservative. Like right now, like it has changed a lot, but back then it was even more considered, adoption was something that was very much like hidden. And so this Korean family shared the story that the boy that they adopted is right now like in elementary school, like in first and second grade, but they never told him that he was adopted. They hid that from him to protect him from getting hurt. And that's how they felt like they could best protect the child. But what I'm getting as I'm sharing this story, the parents are also afraid of being judged from society or people around them or the relatives, because they're talking. They have judgments. And so they are like also in a way denial, okay, to a certain degree. But they're using the excuse of protecting the child. So that's why they hid this truth from, but then they sense that he's feeling something, or they're afraid that he may hear something from other people or the relatives that he's adopted or something like that. So I only saw this kind of things in dramas, like Korean dramas, but when I really heard the story directly from the parent and this family, at the time I felt, wow, this is what's the difference. I could see the difference and how it could affect the child. And later, like, imagine the child discovers that he's adopted and the parents never told him the truth. And they may say that it was to protect you, but the child may feel the betrayal, meaning the ties of the trust perhaps may be broken. And that has to be repaired, which could take a lot of work, right? Especially once the trust is broken, you know how that is, right? So when he starts to feel the feelings of betrayal, even though he may not express it, all the suppressed and repressed emotions that he had to deal with could develop into something that may not be very constructive, right? So that is something that I'm guided to share. So you want to constantly face your truth in a way, even though it may be very, very difficult. You can still redo this at any time, at any age. It doesn't matter you're a teenager now, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Everyone is filled with this abundance of opportunities if you are just willing to align with the energy by what can I learn, how can I do this mentality. You see the mindset shift, okay? And so as you look into these fears, all these belief systems that's been created out of this, like meaning the stories, the meanings that you gave from the incident that happened, is what is creating this energy in the subconscious that we call the belief system. So as you look into them once again, as you're being triggered with certain memories, or as someone comes in to trigger you with that sensations, the trauma, the memory that's been stored in your nervous system, in your physical body, because something that I'm also guided to share is that this physical body is the memory storage. So directly, I have this experience where my mom's friend, she was suddenly diagnosed with leukemia in her mid 50s, and she had received the blood transfusion during the surgery from her son. She was blood type A and he was blood type B. And I remember her from my brief encounters with her. She was like really quiet and not talkative and just very reserved. But then after the surgery, when I met her, like she just came in to me as if she's like as a very different person. And I was really like surprised. And the changes after the blood transfusion was like, we say 180-degree difference. Her personality completely changed. So, for example, if you receive like organ transplants, I remember hearing the story. This girl died from this murder case, and the girl's heart was transplanted to another girl's who needed the heart, and she started to remember. She started to have nightmares and started to have memories about the murderer. And she shared the story, and it was because her heart that she received from this girl who died had that memory in the cellular structure in the heart, and now she has it. She was receiving this memory and all this feeling sensations, okay? So that's why healing our physical body, the nervous system, and releasing all of that will also heal the body. So everything is interconnected is what I'm guided to share at this time. So you want to constantly move your body, shake the energy off. You can incorporate dancing, singing, or allow the body to learn new ways of living through breathing. So you can slow down your breath, or you can accelerate your breath. So that's how you can regulate your own system. And the more you do it, as you understand the engineering of the entire body and entire system of how mind, body, and spirit is interconnected, you become the master, right? You become the master of your own reality is what I'm guided to share. So this cellular memory is something that we overlook a lot. And you can use your breath to calm it down, or you can give yourself like a physical hug. Like you can do this, like, as if someone is hugging you, okay, and calm yourself down if you're in that place of feeling like insecure, loneliness, or extreme stress or anxiety or something like that, okay, self-soothing mechanism. It really works. And you telling yourself that I am good enough, I can do this, I'm in the right place at the right time, and all of these words that you think that it's not really doing anything much to you at this moment. The more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more it becomes natural and it becomes part of you. And that's our way back to our home within, the journey within, meaning the remembering who you are. And as you do so, you are going to expand, open up everything that you are now embodying this heaven on earth energy that is taking place with this group. So if you're in this group or this group doesn't matter. If you feel like you're in this place right now, oh, okay, you can sort of in a way have the bigger picture perspective that that's how it's going to take place. And I want you to use that this information as something that you can be inspired or motivated towards. And I'm also encouraging you to do so rather than saying, oh, like feeling defeated or I'm only in this place. But that's not going to serve you. Okay? A constant comparison is not going to serve you. Okay? So that's what I'm guided to share for you to help you join this energy of expansion and to receive this energy despite where you are, because it is affecting everyone. How it's being acting out or showing up could look different, but you don't want to get caught up in what you see now, okay? You want to focus on raising your vibration, okay? So the 7 portals that are opened right now is Lady Gaia, okay, and all these portals are the 11th dimensional frequency. So it's very, very high vibrational frequency that I experienced during my meditation, during my sleep time, during my waking hours. And I had to consolidate everything this past week or so, or 10 days since my latest video, that I'm guided to share that like around, I think, I can't remember exactly, like earlier this year or late last year, I was meditating, and as I closed my eyes and connected to the connecting, immediately I started to see thousands of unicorns around me in the forest, in that nature spot that I was in. And it just made me cry because like it was not expected. And I didn't know what that was about, but the unicorns were everywhere. I had never experienced that before, thus far. But at the same time, I didn't know what that meant, what it was about. So I wasn't able to share that openly to the collective because I had to process and confirm the information. And so what came to me like a few days ago was it was that time was when the portal of Lyra was opening up, and the unicorn kingdoms were supporting us with the pure white light from the 11th dimensional frequency. So that is something that you can connect to, and that is the portal to Lyra. And Lyra portal with the unicorn kingdoms is a pure white light. So I'm going to mention each color, the rays of colors, so that you can connect to these portals by visualizing these certain colors and intending to connect you by claiming that you are connecting to it, and the moment you do so, it is done. Okay, so as always, it is beyond what you see. But if you believe it and trust it, it is always working for you because you're not in a state of resistance. You're completely open and receptive. Okay, that's how energy works. Okay, so that is the Lyra portal. It can help you purify things like if you have certain attachments to certain thoughts or what you've been watching and consuming on media and what you've been scrolling down on your phone that could affect these energies, and you can clear that up by bringing down pure white light from the unicorn kingdoms. And you can even visualize the unicorn like the pointed, horn, and then that they are pouring that pure white light through your third eye to purify your third eye, right? Your crown chakra and all the way down. And that's going to be an 11th dimensional frequency, meaning back in 2019, soon after I started to have the major initiation, wake up, I was connecting to unicorns because of my soul ties. And my personal unicorn, Keisha, was helping me through all this heavy shadow phase work. And what I'm guided to share is that energy that I received from pure white light was the 7th dimensional frequency back then. And now it's 11th dimensional frequency is what I'm guided to share. So the energy that you can connect to and receive and has an effect on you could be completely, I would say, expanded, magnified, intensified in a much more potent way is what I'm guided to share. And that's the energy that is available now compared to 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and even 2023. The energy of 2024 now at this time is very, very different, much, much more much higher frequency is what I'm guided to share. Okay, and the portal to Lady Gaia is open, and what you can do is you can visualize this blue-green light, okay, that is connected to nature, and then this will work very effectively if you are out in nature in barefoot, standing on ground or touching the tree. Okay, and you can visualize your Earth Star chakra going into the hollow earth, the inner earth, and connecting to the giant pyramid there. There's a huge pyramid. And then you are connecting to that pyramid energy in the inner earth, hollow earth, and also on the upper hand, all the way through your crown chakra and through the stellar gateway, you are connected to source. And you can visualize all of this and bringing down all this energy and locking that in your heart center. You can visualize this, okay? And as you do so, as you breathe in and breathe out, that's what I'm guided you to do. You can visualize this blue-green light expanding and, you know, expanding through your skin, through your organs, through everything around you, okay? So just make sure when you do this outside or out in nature or in public, make sure you are calling in like Archangel Michael or some sort of protection around you, because there may be a lot of energy. So you want to first clear this energy up and make sure you're in a protective bubble or something like that is what I'm guided to share as well. So that's how you can bring down this heaven and earth energy and connect yourself to the inner earth, where it is also related to the root chakra activation that is taking place with the portal of Pluto that I'm guided to share. So in my latest video, I mentioned something about the Pluto, the root chakra color, turning from red to color platinum, okay? And that was in relation to the energy of Pluto. So if you're feeling cold, I'm going to put a link to that video in the description box for anyone who wants to or is resonating or feeling cold to watch that. Okay, and then at the end of that video, you can see the transmission that I was doing as I was connecting, as I was sharing the message. The Pluto came in to connect, and I was doing the light language and light code transmission to align all your chakras to help you receive these healing codes from Pluto. Okay, and that code is what I'm guided to mention once again, and to put it out there for people who need it, to use it and utilize it and receive it at this time. Okay, so also on an individual level, you can call in the energy of from the Pluto, and you can connect that energy Okay, and it has to do with the energy of 555 we recently went through. So on the 5th of May, so on the 4th of May, 5th of May, 6th of May, during my sleep time, I felt this huge shakeup of energies, like, and he woke me up in the middle of the night, 3 nights consecutive, as if something from my bedside was like this, like stuff was like dropping like this. And then I woke up to the sound and I just looked around, but nothing dropped. Everything was in place. But that was the energy that was taking place on the 5th of May and before and after. And that was the energy of the Pluto. And before that, we just had the Pluto going into retrograde that I believe is going to go on for about 6 months or so. And is also helping us to really look into the inner shadow of our fears and insecurities at this time, so that we could further embody, meaning make room, make space by releasing, right? By pooping out all these fears and delusions and illusions that have been taking up space in our physical body, light body, energy body. We are dropping that so that we could embody more of that heaven on earth energy and anchor that down to our root chakra, so the people can transform that energy of the red that we were mainly operating on fear and survival, to platinum, where it's going to shine so that we feel secure and safe within ourselves, so we are not seeking validation from other people. And we could drop like pleasing tendencies, and all of these energies can be cleared out on an individual level. That's also going to help the collective. And also, if you are doing so as like a New Earth leaders, or all these, terms that if you're resonating, these high-level light workers or earth angels now, is you're also, by you doing so, the purpose behind it is so that you can hold a safe place for these groups who are doing the healing work or who are just awakening to join the new earth on a soul level. Okay, so I mentioned in my videos, like previous videos, that the souls are choosing now that whether they want to join the new earth or not. That's why these groups are forming more. I'm seeing these groups more, okay, in these like distinct different frequencies. So as you do so, we are able to hold love and light for them, okay? So while they need a safe place to feel that they could get in touch with their inner child, or get in touch with their shadow aspect and face fears. And so that's how we are helping each other right now, okay? That's why your soul chose to do this, because your soul went through a lot of these processes, ascension in other planets, okay? So in a way, you are leading other people. So you also hold a major role, is what I'm guided to share. But do not disregard your work, and do not disregard self-love, okay? Because in order to provide this, you need to continue to be in that state of self-love, prioritizing yourself, making sure that you're filled with unconditional love yourself, so you can provide. So that's why filling your own cup, or the Ace of Cup in the traditional tarot, is what's coming up. You are constantly in the state of overflow. And even though some people may be envious of that state, or be like, oh, how come their person is in that place? How come I'm not? This is all going to take place in the collective, in the majority of the collective. But what I'm guided to share is that because you have the soul purpose to be in this place, and you have done the work, and despite all these opinions from these judgments or comparisons that can be heavy, what I'm guided to share, if you are in that place, or if you resonate as one, to hold your ground, okay? Do not be shaken or moved by someone's compliments or someone's judgments or opinions, because these could change. Okay, so stand in your ground, stand solidly in your center, and because you know who you are, you're not seeking validation from anybody, or that validation or the idea of it. It was just part of the old experimentation, and we are moving into a totally new world. So do not attach yourself to that old energy, is what I'm guided to share, and hold your ground. Continue to root down your root chakra, okay, so that you embody home within. And you carry that everywhere you go. And as you go around, you become the walking activator of light and love, okay? So you don't have to do anything, but if you are just walking around in your neighborhood, it could affect everyone around on a profound level, on an unconscious, subconscious level. Okay, so that's why we are here as light workers, right? So you've done a lot of the inner clearing, breaking generational curses, karmas, and persecution imprints, and you did a lot of the work. And people may not see all of your stories, and that's okay. Okay, because you know your stories, you know what you went through, and the spirit sees it. So just hold your ground, okay, is what I'm guided to share. Do not be shaken by the ideas, good, the bad, the judgments, or like a lot of like compliments and likes. The popularity has nothing to do with who you are, or this people like dislike or envy or jealousy has nothing to do with who you are, is what I'm guided to share, okay? This is the collective message for this particular group, okay? So that has to do with the Pluto. And also, you don't have to be like associated with these groups, or if you're like, say, just, I don't know where I belong, like, I don't give an F, or, you don't have to give an F, You can just be like, okay, whatever, like these groups, I see it, okay, but I'm just going to go my way, that's fine, right? So you're always focusing on your journey, and that you are connecting with, if you want to root down your root chakra, you can connect to the Pluto portal just for that reason. You don't have to have all this other you don't have to first resonate and make sure. If you simply feel pulled to receive the energy and connect to it, you can also do that, is what I'm guided to share, okay? Take however resonates, okay? So that is the portal to Pluto, and the Andromeda portal. So Andromeda is something that I was connecting through since earlier this year. I started to connect with Andromeda quite a bit during my meditation. I didn't know what that was about, so I wasn't able to share, but now it's clear that energy from Andromeda, the 11th dimensional frequency, that is in the pink and violet flame. And what I'm guided to share is also it can help you as you connect with that color, as you intend to connect with the Andromeda, that portal. It's also to help you activate your soul star chakra, okay? And it's also to further accelerate the merge of your monad. So I've been sharing a lot about the ancient histories and my stories of connecting my lifetime in Native American culture, and my Egyptian time, and then the Aztec, the Incan, and all this Mayan culture that my soul is connected to, that I was connecting as I was watching all these travel shows that I was guided to connect with by my spirit team. If you've been experiencing this, and I see a lot of people doing that in a certain group of people, is because they're now resuming all those soul memories, soul wisdom, soul aspects from these timelines, and merge that in your monad so you could further help activate the heaven and earth energy with the I am presence that is in your monad. So I am, meaning your existence. So your worth is not tied to others' validation. It's simply you existing is lighting up the world. That's the extension of the I am presence, the monadic merge that is taking place right now, that we are here to embody as heaven and earth, especially in this new earth group. Okay. So as you do so, as you connect with this blue, pink, violet color with the Andromeda, it could help you feeling rejuvenated and regenerate these energies within your energy body to activate your light body further. Okay, so that is what I'm guided to share at this time. Okay, so I share Lady Gata. Okay, so the Pleiades portal is also open. It's a blue light. So in my previous video where I shared a lot of the Archangel cards, that I'm going to share the video to that link in the description box down below. That was foreshadowing these portals that came to me. Okay, so that when I pull the orbs card that I was feeling really pulled to, I pulled a Palladian healing energy, and that is the blue energy, and that was relating to this portal. So right now, it is not 7th dimensional, it is 11th dimensional. So that is why the energy is so potent, and it can help you a lot with your purging or healing or wherever you are in your journey to further embody that Christ consciousness energy and open up your heart to dissolve any of the grief, the sorrow, okay, the shame and the guilt that is in your heart space that is blocking you from really expressing and feeling your emotions freely. Okay, so that energy can be very helpful for you, and you can call in to connect to Pleiades and then visualize that blue healing light coming down and then spreading out all throughout your body, touching all your chakras to heal, and that's how you can work with the energy. And another portal is Helios. So Helios is the golden color, bright golden color. So as you connect to that, Helios is the sun beyond the sun. Okay, so you can go out in sun literally, and it doesn't have to be like only sunny days. It could be something cloudy, but the rays of the sun is still available, and you can sit outside, and you can also use your palms and connect your palms to the sun. And it's going to help you remember who you are, the spiral, okay? And as you connect with the sun, okay, where you can visualize it if you cannot go outside, you can bring down this beautiful golden light to rejuvenate, okay, your entire energy, to elevate with that bright sun energy, the golden rays, and touching it, your chakras and opening up. So whenever you need this feeling of joy, when you're waking up feeling anxious or depressed or unknown sense of restlessness that, you know, it's like stagnancy or something like that, you can use this, connect your energy to that to rejuvenate, recharge, okay? That is also 11th dimensional frequency now, okay? And the sun's energy has been also transforming and elevating since May last year, which I received the information from Source last year. So now it's the 11th dimensional frequency that we are having the availability to receive at this time, which is huge, okay? So Lyra, so the Metatron portal. Okay, so the Metatron portal is, Metatron is pouring down this bright orange golden light through the stellar gateway, so which I experienced last night for me to share with you. So the stellar gateway is not just open like this, but it's just widely open like this. Like it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's like this, like huge expansion just took place yesterday. And so now everyone, wherever you are in your healing journey, okay, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You can connect to this portal and receive this energy of bright orange golden light from that is sent from Metatron at this time. So especially if you're in a healing stage where you're feeling a lot of triggers and heavy emotions and dealing with all of this, you can use this energy to brighten your energy up. And as you download and do this, receive this energy, you may experience the energy surge up and feeling cleaned up or cleared up, so that you feel a little bit more optimistic or brighten up, which I also experienced quite a bit as I was doing a lot of these things when I was doing a lot of shadow work back in the days. So if you are especially clairsentient or empath or highly empathic, you may sense it in your energy body with tingling sensations, or after doing this meditation or activation and receiving these, you may feel different, okay, feeling rejuvenated, okay, regenerated. So what's the so I mentioned Lady Gaia, Helios, Pleiades, Andromeda, Lyra, Metatron. One more. Okay, so I think I mentioned 6. So right now I'm experiencing a lot of forgetfulness once again, which I went through like a month or 2 ago, where a lot of when the crown chakra activation was taking place. And since like 3 or 4 days ago, my crown chakra has been crazy activated. And then I was experiencing a lot of brain fog. And then last night with this stellar gateway expansion that took place, a lot of people in the collective may experience that brain fog or the headache, or that a little bit of nausea, depending on the frequency that you're in. It may play out differently, or you may experience like forgetfulness or something like that. And this is not for everyone, so take however resonates for you. So you can utilize this portal energies right now, and these are all 11th dimensional frequencies. So if you've been seeing a lot of 777 or connecting to that number, and 555, 1111, 111, 711, 717, any mixture of 11 and 7s, it's related to this message, and it's related to this portal that you're ready to connect to and embody this energy and bring down heaven and earth, seventh heaven and all these ideas, right? The 7, the Jesus energy. So when I just woke up, had that major initiation in 2018. Since then, there were groups and people who were holding space for the collective that I wasn't aware of until then, that I was receiving a lot of help energetically and guidance energetically from these individuals that I don't know, right, but are existing, holding love and light and space for all these people because they chose to wake up before. And so now these groups, including myself, and as we are doing so, we are holding space for the people who are doing their shadow work, just waking up, just feeling triggered and in the space of anger and resentment and all this jealousy and envy, comparison. But we are not to judge these people, but to embrace them in love, meaning allow them to exist, allow them to go through their unique journey without having judgment. Okay, that is very important right now for me to share. If you're in a place of this group where I'm mentioning, like, as New Earth leaders, or this Divine Feminine Rising, or however you resonate with these terms at this time, I want you to hold the space, not in a place of ego where you are ahead or feeling superior, but simply there's a soul purpose as to why you are in that place, and you can also contribute on a large collective sense by you keeping loving yourself, by you keeping unconditionally accepting who you are in this moment, meaning standing in your own ground despite all this noise outside. You are helping the collective, okay? So that is what I'm also guided to share as a very important message at this time. So we are all doing this work for a purpose. And if you're wondering whether you are in the right place, right path, on purpose, you're still looking for your right purpose, the message that I'm guided to share is shift in your perspective. Just remind yourself to embody this belief system, to dissolve the old ways, that you're always in the right place at the right time, meaning you're always in your soul purpose. Whatever you do, wherever you are, even though you may be going through a dark night of the soul right now, you're just waking up, experiencing all these emotions, or that's very heavy, you are exactly where you need to be, and that is part of your soul purpose. So you're always on point, you're always purposeful, meaning your existence simply matters. It's not how you feel, what you do, what you didn't do, what you're achieving, what you're not achieving is not tied to your soul purpose. Your soul purpose simply is tied to your existence in the now, okay? That is what I'm guided to share. So be purposeful. Be intentional and know this. And when you understand and start to know this, wherever you are going to be more intentional with your actions and words, because you feel like you are already having a purposeful life. Okay? That is the innate soul craving for everyone, is what I'm guided to share. Because knowing that you are helping someone, even though you are in the place of you're trying to be helped, or you are trying to get out of this shadow, or trying to integrate and you're struggling with it, you're always in your purpose. Remember that, okay? So your purpose is you focusing on your inner journey, is serving the world. Okay, so that's also a very strong message that is coming from the angelic realm right now, the source and Gaia especially, because I'm sharing this so that you utilize these portal energies to support you, to help you. This is the gift, okay? This is the present. So in a way, as you are staying in present, you're able to receive these gifts because you're not overlooking things, or you're not overthinking things. You're not in your mind, you're in your heart space, you trust, okay? And you receive these gifts because you recognize these gifts that are present with you. But if you are sitting in resistance, doubting, right? Doubting whether this is real, or whether this is really working or existing, or constantly trying to check, which is the energy of doubt. If you simply say, I receive and it is done so, it is done so. But if you're trying to check it, right, whether it's working for you, which is doubt, you may be blocking the flow, and understand that that's how it is working. So you can use this knowledge and information as you utilize these energies to really tune in and allow what is coming out, what is coming up that may be in the shadow. And as you utilize this portal, you can also receive this, but at the same time, it could also help you go deeper into your shadow to see these aspects. And then as you identify, be more aware, shed light on it, meaning having consciousness over it, that subconscious belief systems will be dissolved in that moment. And as you do so, you're getting closer to your soul signature, your heart center. Okay, the veil is thinning. So you can be able to see through the illusion more and more and more. That is the analogy. Okay, so that is what I'm guided to share. So utilize these portals. Okay. And right now, El Moria is working with elementals to clear up all the pollution on earth. And Jesus is working with the Christ consciousness energy, pouring that down. If you've been seeing a lot of 66 or 666, it is in a way reminding you to connect with your unconditional self, to balance your energy within, to open up your higher heart. Okay, integrate. So he is working heavily. He's also in the karmic board right now, and to help with the karmic justice and releasing your karma. Okay, so you can join the new earth. And also Mary Magdalene is working with us at this time to help us balance and integrate the divine masculine and the divine feminine aspects within ourselves, which I've been mentioning heavily since last year. It's in relation to the purifying our heart space. And last year we were doing a lot of divine feminine healing, and this year, especially in April, we were integrating a lot of activating the divine masculine within in balance. Okay, so Mary Magdalene is helping us to integrate this in balance within, the union within at this time. Also, Kuan Yin is also helping us to connect to pure unconditional love energy connected to Source. So you can receive that unconditional love energy directly from Source through Kuan Yin. And you can connect to the rose quartz crystal or any pink color, very soft pink. You can call in that energy. So you can call in Jesus, Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, El Moria during your meditation. And with El Moria, when you're out in nature, you can work with El Moria. And if you are working in nature or any sustainability projects as your profession, you can work with El Moria and ask his consultation and guidance for the future projects and the visions that is aligned with the highest intentions for Gaia at this time to save the earth in a way, right? So you can participate, you can contribute to that greater work. You can call in El Moria. What else? So I, just in case I wrote that down, I'm not remembering one more. Okay. So Commander Ashtar Commander Ashtar is working in the astral realm to clear out the astral realm right now, to bring light so that any stuck souls in the astral realm can follow the light and clear up that space. So you can also do this by visualizing, especially if you're an earth angel, light workers. During your meditation, visualize and bring in all this beautiful light, angelic light, call in angels, and create the pathway for any souls, or if you receive news people who are deceased or passed away, that we all know on, the celebrities or anyone around you, or you don't have to, but any stuck soul, to follow that light, to be guided by that light so they can go and process their own soul and not get stuck in the in-between realms anymore. So that is also part of the clearing that is taking place in all aspects to help us ascend. Okay, that is in the ascension timeline right now. Okay, so Actually, I had this music ready and this two poetry that I pulled out yesterday that I recorded the video, but that didn't record, like didn't save. And I was gonna do this, continue on, but what I'm feeling called to do is to make a separate video for the channeled music and the poetry. So I'm going to wrap up the message here now, and I'm going to record in another separate video and upload it on YouTube. And I'm going to share the link of this one to that one and that one to here, so that anyone who needs to or who wants to connect can easily do so. So before I go, any last message, Spirit, Source, Intergalactic Council, Angelic Realm? Is there any message? Last message. Okay, the last message that's coming up is that they really want you to know that you are loved. You're being seen by the heavens, the higher realms, the spirit, your ancestors, your teams, however you resonate with these human language terms right now. Okay, and it's like making me cry right now because that energy of love is pouring down through my heart center so much that they love you so much. They want you to know that wherever you are, they're constantly guiding you. They're trying to help you so you can connect with them by or through praying, not in a sense of religious sense of praying, but praying in a way that you are communicating with your higher self, your team, your angels, okay, and asking for their help, guidance when you need it, when you feel like you're alone, when you feel lost, when you feel stuck. You can ask them, help me with this, help me to realize, help me to see and recognize, help me to grow, is a good place to start when you are praying and asking for help. Okay, they can help you guide and help you see something that holds the key within, that you can use that key information to unlock your heart. Okay, so that is the last message. You are heavily, heavily watched, protected, and loved and guided at all times. And if you are just reaching out for help, it is within your distance at all times, okay, is what I'm guided to share. So that's all I have for you at this time. And with that, I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.